Wednesday, July 16th, 2014.
From NBC News, this is Today with Matt Lauer and Savannah Guthrie, live from Studio 1A in Rockefeller Plaza.
Let us begin this half hour with a tragic case that we've been following out of Georgia. For the first time now, the mother of a toddler who died inside a sweltering SUV is speaking publicly through her attorney. NBC's Gabe Gutierrez has that story.
Were you able to speak with your husband?
Leanna Harris is living every parent's nightmare, her attorney says, in the first public comment since she stared silently in court, watching her husband face murder and child cruelty charges in the death of their 22-month-old son, Cooper. Investigators are looking into what role, if any, she may have played in Cooper's death. She has not been named a suspect and is not charged with any crime, but police testimony raised questions about her initial reactions when she was told Cooper had never been dropped off at daycare the day he died.
In front of several witnesses, all of a sudden she states, Ross must have left him in the car.
Now her attorney is firing back, blaming the media, who he says have fostered a poisonous atmosphere in which Leanna's every word, action, and emotion, or failure to cry in front of a crowd, is scrutinized for some supposed hidden meaning. In much the same way, he says, the press unjustly harassed and hounded Olympic bombing hero Richard Jewell when he didn't behave as some thought he should.
He's trying to take the focus off of the inappropriate statements that she's made, trying to shift the focus from those back to her grief.
Prosecutors say Leanna Harris's husband Ross left the child to die on purpose because he wanted a child-free life. Police say he researched animals dying in hot cars on the internet and was sexting women while his son was in the sweltering car. His attorney has said it was a tragic accident, that his client forgot to drop off Cooper at daycare that morning. Tyler Bryan went to high school and college with Ross and says he has a hard time believing the accusations against his friend.
It does raise doubts. I'm not going to lie and say that it doesn't. It does. It's tough for me to see the Ross that I knew and this Ross that they're portraying as the same person.
In the statement, Leanna Harris's attorney doesn't mention her husband, concluding, for Leanna, Cooper's death has been devastating. She asked that she be allowed to grieve in private. For Today, Gabe Gutierrez, NBC News.
Lisa Bloom is today's legal analyst. Lisa, good morning to you.
Good morning.
So we're hearing from the mom for the first time, albeit words filtered through her attorney. What jumps out at you?
Well, what jumps out at me is what's missing from the statement. There's no denial at all that she had any involvement in her son's death. There's no anger at her husband for having left her little boy in the car, either negligently or intentionally. And there's no response to the specific issues that have raised eyebrows about Leanna. Her inappropriate comments, her strange behavior, nothing on that subject.
Well, on that subject, here's what part of the statement says. Dealing with her grief has become more difficult as the day go on. However, in large part because of the constant speculation and innuendo in the media. Newspapers, television, and online media have fostered a poisonous atmosphere in which Leanna's every word, action, and emotion, or failure to cry in front of a crowd, is scrutinized for some supposed hidden meaning. Has there been unfair speculation here?
Well, there has been some of that, but I think the real focus on her has been her comment to her husband at the police station just after her son's death. Did you say too much? Her telling the police that she did a search for how long a child can be left in a hot car, and her strange statements at the daycare center when she went to pick up her little boy and they said he wasn't there, and she said, well, he must have been left in the car. That was her immediate response.
We know that there's still an ongoing investigation. It's clear that the mom was not in the car at the time her son died. Do you think police are working with her or perhaps on her to tighten the case around her husband?
Oh, I'm sure that they are, Matt. You know, that's always standard operating procedure. Let's go to somebody who may have had a lesser role in the incident, try to get information on somebody that had a greater role. That would be Ross Harris here. So I'm sure that they are leaning on her. She has an attorney now. That's an appropriate thing to do when you're the subject of police scrutiny. But as you say, she's not a suspect. She has not been charged.
Lisa Bloom, thank you very much.
Thank you.